Crystal Faulkner with the CPA and business advisory firm of Cooney, Faulkner and Stevens. We're here today with Tim Shigel. Tim's the new manager of Cintrifuse's Fund of Funds and the founder and chairman of Sharethis. So Tim, you've got a new role. In Cintrifuse, you're going to be managing the Fund of Funds, which is going to encourage other venture funds to come here and invest in our startups. Why did you choose to take this role?
Exactly. This is great. The local Council of Business Leaders put together a task force and identified the fact that Cincinnati is way behind. We have a lot of great assets, but we're behind in terms of having venture capital in the region. Cleveland has had $2.5 billion of venture put into the region in between 2007 and 2009. Pittsburgh's had almost $1 billion, and we were down at around $100 million.
That's amazing.
So our job is to bring venture firms from around the country and around the globe to understand what we have in Cincinnati, because we have so much to offer. We all know that.
And we do have a lot. We have great resources, great companies, and you're going to help the whole world know that by encouraging them to come and invest in our startups.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that we have the world's largest consumer packaged goods company here in town, Procter & Gamble, but there are a lot of other assets as well. Children's Hospital is ranked #2 pediatric research institution in the country. It's huge. There's almost $500 million of research here between Children's and University of Cincinnati, and we need to take advantage of that.
And so how are we going to do this? How are we going to show the rest of the world that we have great assets here and help our startups grow jobs?
So this regional task force put together the idea of Cintrifuse, and Cintrifuse has 3 main components: access, space, and funds. So I'm taking care of the funds part, which is going to be a $50 to $100 million fund to invest in other venture firms to encourage them to participate in our region. Space is going to be some really great startup space in over the Rhine that's going to house incubators, startup companies, and other venture capitalists, so they can be mixing it up every day.
And a lot of energy going on.
A lot of energy.
Ideas.
I want to have bands come in on the weekends, and hopefully, and then finally access. Access is access and coordination. What the task force found was that we have a lot of great resources. We actually have more seed and angel investing for the earliest stage of companies than the national average. So what we want to do is coordinate those activities, coordinate the access to the large companies in the region to make these companies compete globally.
Well, Tim, thanks so much for that great information and for doing what you are to help our region grow. And we are going to continue our conversation with Tim Shigel on WCPO.com/BusinessWise, talking about how Cintrifuse and Tim and others in our region are going to make our region grow jobs. So, we were talking about Cintrifuse, and how exciting is that? And I love the idea of the energy, having all of these people with the creative ideas in one spot. How do they feed off each other? I mean, you've been involved in many different types of businesses, Tim, and including starting your own startup technology company called Sharethis.
Right.
What value is it that when startups get together, I mean, the collaboration that goes on?
First of all, there's just some raw energy. I think that people feed off each other. There's excitement, there's a lot of hard work involved, but it's also important to bring people with different skill sets together. So you may have people that are developers, developing software, combined with people that are doing work on financial analysis and business models, and then investors. And when you start mixing those all together, people learn from each other a lot faster. You've heard the saying, fail fast and frequently, right? So you want to be able to do that, and you want to do that in a supportive environment where people say, oh, I made that mistake too. Let me show you what I did, or let me share with you how you can get over that.
Because I tell my clients this all the time. Often, the biggest and best advice that you can get is to avoid a mistake. And if you have people that's already been there, done that, then that's a wonderful lesson.
Right. So in that networking, we're in a very fast-paced world, a global economy. Product innovations are happening at record paces. You can't afford to wait another week to find out that somebody did something that you're looking at doing. So the faster you connect, the better you'll do.
Well, maybe Tim, you can also share a little bit about why the biggest companies in our region, the Procter & Gamble's, the Cincinnati Children's, why are these the individuals that are investing in Cintrifuse? What is the value, do you think, that they're getting from this?
Well, they know they have that same problem that I just mentioned, that product cycles are moving so fast. They need to keep up with innovation. So in addition to wanting to support the local region and knowing we have a lot of talent here, we really lead the world in consumer understanding, market research, and product design. They want to make sure they're tapped in, because it's very hard when you're a large company to know when the next big thing is going to, where it's going to come from. So by being part of that constant conversation and flow of activity, they make sure that they don't miss out on what the next great thing is that might transform some of their businesses.
You know, Tim, I mentioned earlier that you've had a variety of experiences in your career. You worked for a privately held company, you've been very involved in big companies, you worked for a venture fund even here locally, but you also started an amazing company called Sharethis, which we all know, if we go online, by the sideways green V triangle.
Right.
Exactly. So how do you go from someone watching today, for example, how do they go from the day job, a very cozy day job where they're comfortable, they're safe, and if they have this passion in them, they want to go try something, what advice do you have for them?
Well, first is easy, just do it. You know, start by talking to folks, reach out, start pursuing the idea, collect data. The more you can validate that you're on the right track, I think others will get excited too and join you. So it's really important to have a shared vision and share that vision with both people that may end up being your partners and as well as investors.
And so if someone is watching today and they do have an idea and they'd like to reach out, they don't even know where to start, where is the first place somebody should start if they've got the next best thing?
That's actually why one of the reasons for Cintrifuse. So we want them to come down to over the Rhine. We'll connect you with other early stage capital providers. We'll connect you with other startups. Email me at tim@cintrifuse.com.
So tim@cintrifuse.com, hopefully you picked that up. And where do you see Cintrifuse going, say, in 5 years, Tim? I mean, what's your vision for this?
We think this is really going to create an innovation hub here that is going to provide hundreds, if not thousands, of jobs. We think that people will be coming through here again, and we're building bridges. You know, to use that metaphor, Cincinnati, bridges to both coasts to bring that capital and other talent here, so that they know that they need to have a presence here if they're going to be on the cutting edge of consumer understanding.
And again, the wonderful part about this, isn't it, is that we're growing jobs, which is hopefully going to trickle down. There will be a huge trickle down effect felt all over the region.
Absolutely.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for being my guest and for everything you're doing. You're going to have to come back and keep us up to date with what is going on over at Cintrifuse.